Ahoy, hoy, I'm Pavo.
And I'm Neil.
And welcome to episode 59 of That's No Moon.
It's a podcast.
It's your weekly digest of all the news you need to know in the Star Wars universe.
Absolutely. And I would like to say a big Happy New Year to all of our watchers and listeners.
Indeed. And it's what a wonderful end to the year.
It was.
And what an exciting start of the year.
Already. We've got stories galore
here. We have stories galore. And I think we can sort of calm ourselves a little bit before the new storm in May.
Yeah.
Which may, with the way that The Last Jedi went, it could be potentially a storm.
Well, it'd be interesting, won't it? It's perfect. It's perfect. Just forgive me for my nasally sounds. I'm still a bit bunged in the nose.
Okay.
From the Christmas cold that Santa kindly gave me.
I bet he did.
He did. Right, so shall I get going?
Yeah, I wish you would.
Oh, thank you. So with the dust settled and the figures in, The Last Jedi has now taken over $1 billion at the box office, putting it at the moment the third highest grossing film of the year at $1,054 million so far. So how does this compare with The Force Awakens, we ask ourselves?
How does this compare with The Force Awakens, Neil?
We ask ourselves.
Well, I ask myself.
The domestic 18-day total puts The Last Jedi at 531 million. So in 18 days, that's how much it took. So that's only domestic, not worldwide. And The Force Awakens was 750 million. Now, looking into this, the reason being is it's not playing as many times as The Force Awakens because of the length.
Yeah.
So that's one. But it is getting return visits.
I think it's the problem. Well, not the problem, but the thing. It was never going to make as much as The Force Awakens. I think everyone sort of thought. Plus, I think the negative feeling on the film has hit it. That's not to say that I think they reckon that it's going to top out about 1.6 billion.
It's not bad, is it?
Which is fantastic. So it means that since Star Wars has come back, every movie that they've released so far has hit $1 billion.
Yeah, it's now paid itself, hasn't it? If you know what I mean. And so when Disney bought Lucasfilm, it's now paid itself off. Just
on the return. Well, I suppose if you take it in the fact that they've had to pay for the making of the movies, and it probably isn't quite. But if you look at what the movies have taken,
it has.
Then yes, it's paid for the 4.2 billion or whatever it was. But it's interesting how now that the dust has settled on seeing the movie and digesting it, and obviously seeing the bad press, there seems to be a bit more of a turnaround on the people that have attacked the movie a little bit.
Have you noticed a lot of people that have seen it now for the second time who hated it the first time? They're changing their viewpoint. They're not so negative towards it. Yes, they have issues with it, but a lot of what they hated, they're changing their viewpoint.
And there's also a lot of people, this is a valid point, there's people that are saying, because I've been the same, I've said to people that haven't liked it, go and see it again, because it's so much better the second time. But there have been some people, haven't said it to me, but I've read on particular forums and online, have said, well, we shouldn't have to go and see it a second time. You know, a movie, if it's going to grab you, should grab you the first time. Now, whether or not they are big Star Wars fans or whether they are just moviegoers, general moviegoers, I can understand that point, because if I wasn't a Star Wars fan and someone come up to me and said, you need to go and see it again, like if they'd said that to me about Justice League, I would have gone, well, I'm not going to go and see that again. I didn't enjoy it. Why would I want to go and see it again?
But the thing with the Star Wars, and especially now with this new franchise, is a lot of people, and we've spoken about it before, is the expectations of what they thought was going to happen and didn't. So it's a different thing. And that is a lot of what I think. I'm not saying everybody, because there are just generally people that are going to watch it and think, I didn't like that. It wasn't my cup of tea. Likewise with other Star Wars films, not everybody's going to love A New Hope, right?
Well, no, they don't. No,
But what I think, if people are disliking it because of the expectations, then I think they should go and watch it again, because that will have thrown them out of the movie when they're watching it.
I agree.
And that's why I think a lot of people who I've certainly spoken to, who didn't like it the first time, have gone and seen it the second time, and their opinion has changed. It's not so negative towards that film. And
I mean, again, to sort of put a line under talking about The Last Jedi as such.
Well, I got a little bit more.
Yeah. But in regards to like doing like mini reviews for it or whatever, it's not a perfect movie.
No.
All right, it's not my. This is me personally. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie. But it's a really good movie. And like you just said, there were certain expectations I went in. You've only got to listen to a couple of episodes ago when we made our predictions of what we thought. And I think there wasn't anything in there we got right.
No.
So
I mean, we did do an extreme.
Yeah, but I mean, when we've been talking in previous episodes, when we're sort of saying we wonder if Snoke is going to be this and blah, blah, that and all that kind of stuff, none of that really came to pass. And the more I think about it, the more I think, well, that's interesting because you really don't know where it's going to go. No. Whereas everybody thought, okay, they sort of thought they knew because
they'd made their own plot of the outline, hadn't they?
Yeah, because that didn't happen, everybody was upset or everyone was disappointed. And I can understand that. But at the same time, it also now makes you think, well, they can literally do anything because I've got no idea how it's going to go.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is really exciting, to be honest.
So, talking still about The Last Jedi and making $1 billion at the box office. The Star Wars franchise, well, the Star Wars series or saga, whatever you want to, is now officially the second largest movie franchise, knocking Harry Potter from that mantle. While regains the top spot. Well, who? I'm going to ask
Marvel, I would say.
Yeah, they regain the top spot. Could Star Wars take that crown soon from them? Do you think?
No. Well, no. With the fact that Marvel have had how many movies?
Well, they're 21, weren't they?
Exactly, yeah. And a lot of. I was trying to think what the worst performing movie at the box office probably still took $200 or $300 million.
Incredible Hulk, wasn't it?
Probably something like that. Yeah. And you've got Black Panther, and you've got Infinity War coming
this first quarter.
Yeah, so there's no way that Star Wars.
But it's quite amazing that it's not Harry Potter off because they took serious money, didn't they?
They did, and I enjoyed the Harry Potter franchise more as it went on. But then again, they're going to carry on. You know, they've got the Crimes of Grindelwald or whatever is coming. I'm not too keen on those ones.
Fantastic Beasts. We haven't seen the second one, so you can't judge.
No, I know, but I wasn't that keen on the first one.
But they have got other things as well that keep the momentum of Harry Potter going, like Harry Potter World and all of that sort of thing, and Universal Studios.
Universal.
And then, obviously, Star Wars theme park will be opening, and all of that will be coming soon.
2019.
Lovely jubbly.
Next.
No! Variety recently shared news that John Williams, synonymous with Star Wars itself, is writing the theme to the new Solo movie. While John Powell of How to Train Your Dragon and the Bourne movies fame is still writing the score to the Solo movie as well, which still currently has its May release. But
why do you say that?
I say that because I was looking on, which I'll show you. I was looking on a release schedule, as in a trade release schedule, and it's still got TBC by it.
As it, they would have said by now whether or not it was going to be.
You would have thought so.
I would have thought so.
But I still say that.
Okay.
Just till they take that. I don't like TBC.
Okay.
You know. Just saying.
What have you got to say about John Williams then?
John Williams. Well, his theme. He's going to have it's good to have him back. That's what I was saying about John Williams. He's got the theme.
So do you think think it's unfair on the actual composer of the movie that John Williams is coming in and stealing a little bit of the limelight?
I don't know. It depends. I don't know. Is he?
I mean, for me, I don't think if it was any other movie, I would think that it was total fan service. But because it's Han Solo, and Han Solo will forever be linked to the original trilogy and also The Force Awakens, if you like. It sort of feels that it's right that there should be somebody like John Williams
and a special thing. But also, John Williams is how old is he now? 90?
85.
Is he 85? Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of work, isn't it, to write a complete score as well?
Well, you're going to hope that they're going to keep him locked away in cotton wool for episode 9.
You would hope.
So at least he can do.
And although they say that John Powell is still writing the score, he might be working with John Williams and getting,
Possibly.
John Williams might be mentoring him, or, do this, I would do that, and that sort of thing.
I think it's going to be nice that because, like you say, he's not doing the whole score. He's doing one particular, and if there's one thing that John Williams, I say, is good at, I mean, he's a genius.
He is a
genius.
Look at what he's written, yeah.
But even when I can remember when I bought the Force Awakens soundtrack. When I heard the movie I saw the movie for the first time, I thought, none of those themes really stick out. But now, I know exactly when I hear the Kylo Ren theme. I know exactly when I hear the Rey theme. That's Rey's theme.
Mm.
And he's
Do you still listen to the themes?
Yeah. I mean, I have to look. I'm assuming that the Last Jedi soundtrack is out. I haven't looked.
Yeah, I would imagine
but
so.
But I must get that one because that one to me felt more like the old trilogy. It seemed like they were borrowing a lot of the old themes, like mixed in with the music. So it'd be interesting to hear that one. But yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Because I gave you some special edition CDs. Were they good? Do you remember those?
Yes. Oh no, they're
original
fantastic. They're fantastic. Yeah.
Right. The Spanish Star Wars account on Facebook has released the film poster about the famous smuggler, and it will be called Han Solo, a Star Wars movie. So, sorry, title, not poster. Why did I say poster?
I thought it's called Solo, a Star Wars story.
No, in Spanish,
the
foreign title for it is Han Solo, a Star Wars story.
Okay.
But it will still be called Solo, a Star Wars movie in America.
Is that because Solo means something else in
I don't know, it
Spanish?
doesn't say. It just came up on the report. It didn't say. I'm not fluent in Spanish. Are you? You're more. Yeah, well, there you go.
There you go.
Ask him. I don't think so. I just think it probably makes more sense to be like when they do the titles in like China and stuff like that, and it becomes such a literal translation.
Yeah.
A big bitey thing in the sea for Jaws or whatever it is, and
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's a good bit of news.
I don't know why I said poster. I meant to say title. Behave yourself.
Well, I hope you've got like a picture of the poster.
I have.
Oh, well done. Good
I have,
man.
actually.
That's great. And
You'll be seeing it right now.
Right now.
Because you obviously haven't looked in Dropbox.
No, I haven't.
You?
I haven't. To be fair, normally I will look through the show notes so I can see what it is we're talking about. For some reason this week I thought, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to. I knew that there was a couple of stories that you had said you were going to talk about, but I was going to come in clean and fresh, just like my pants. Not really.
Right, why would you sniff when you say that as well?
Because it was a lie.
Okay. Christian Bale.
He is.
Yeah, has confirmed that he could have been cast in the said Han Solo movie that we were just talking about.
As what?
While not saying for what role.
He
did say this on the Josh Horowitz podcast. Yes, it was very tempting. I not only love the films going back to my childhood, but I also have a very long relationship with Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall because they did Empire of the Sun many years back. There was a discussion, and I hope there will be future discussions.
See, now, he would be someone that maybe the Rian Johnson trilogy.
Yeah.
Old Republic. You could see him doing something.
Or something in the Obi-Wan movie. I think he'd be a really. He's the sort of actor that would be a brilliant baddie.
Yeah.
So, there's the Obi-Wan movie coming as well.
Yeah.
I wonder when they'll announce the director for the Obi-Wan movie as well.
I don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe soon. Who knows? I mean, I don't know what is there another story?
There's one more.
And what's that about?
Toys.
Okay. You said that's a camp.
Did I?
Toys.
Toys.
Because I read somewhere that they are down to start shooting filming in Scotland in June 2018.
Yeah, rumoured to be filming in Scotland.
But they haven't said what film. Now they're assuming that it's Episode 9. It's a particular pass. I can't remember what they call it.
Yeah, it's up in the Highlands.
Yeah. But they're also saying it's possible it could be the Obi-Wan movie. I would assume it's got to be Episode 9, I would have thought. Because
the Obi-Wan movie, I mean, Scotland's quite wet, isn't it? Famously wet. It's very green, it's very lush in the hills and mountains, and you got snow and things like that. Obi-Wan, now did he... How...
bless me.
A lot of it's going to be set on Tatooine.
You would have thought.
It's going to have to be because he wanted to stay there to protect Luke. So, yeah, I would think it's episode 9.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. And the other thing, I was listening to the Adam Buxton podcast today.
Yeah.
And every Christmas he does a special podcast where he meets back up with Joe Cornish.
Yep.
And Joe Cornish was talking about his cameo in The Last Jedi.
I didn't even know yet.
I didn't. Apparently he's there. You can see his face a couple of times, but very quickly. But apparently he didn't say which part, so I have to look out for him next time. He's a very tall man, Joe Cornish.
He is. He's a good script writer, isn't he?
He is. He's working on his new film as we speak.
Right, because obviously he wrote the script to Tintin.
He wrote. He did like a pass on it with Edgar Wright.
That's right. Which I know it's a Star Wars thing, which is a very underrated film. Tintin.
And Paddington. He did a little bit of script writing on that as well.
Do you want to talk about toys?
Let's talk about toys.
Toys. Right. So while we're talking about the Solo movie, it seems there could be some famous character cameos in the said movie that we're talking about. Pictures leaked from the Lego Toys.
Lego Toys.
Excuse me. Lego Toys. Of the movie show Boba Fett.
Ooh.
And the Black Series toys.
Nice.
The list of that came out, and it has Grand Moff Tarkin on the list. So...
Makes sense.
Are these cool cameos, though, pal? I think Boba Fett would be a cool cameo.
It will, but what you don't want is you don't want it to be... See, the one thing I think they're going to do with this movie, because it is a risk, it's the biggest risk that they've taken since bringing Star Wars back. I don't want it to be completely full of fan service things, because then I think the story might lack in story, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to tick all the boxes that they think the fans want to see. They want to see Boba Fett, they want to see the Kessel Run, they want to see Chewie, they want to see Lando, they want to see him being a rogue and a scoundrel.
Well, you'd have to see Chewie, wouldn't you?
No, I can understand this, but as long as it works for the story.
And not just wedged in.
Nice little thing wedged.
Yeah.
Very good there.
Well, you don't want them just to say, oh, hi, I'm Boba. And
exactly.
Then go away.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm just here.
Or the way that they sort of, in the special editions, they shoehorn that Jabba the Hutt scene in. Because every bit of information that was in that scene had already been said. It was a replica of the dialogue, I think, between Han and Greedo, I think it was. It was the same sort of, and they just put it in because they thought, wouldn't it be funny for us to put the new Jabba the Hutt?
Well, they'd filmed that scene with the guy with the guy, funny. Yeah.
And it didn't work because it just didn't make any sense to be it. And then Boba Fett just walks in at the end, and you think, as much as it was okay, it's cool to see Boba Fett wherever, but just don't shoehorn it in, because if they keep doing that with moments in the Han Solo movie, I think a lot of people are going to go, well, that's just there for fan service.
Well, to me, what you have to see that wouldn't even be for fan service, you'd just be pissed off if you didn't see it, would be the Kessel Run.
Yeah, I think that has to be done.
Obviously, Chewie and the meeting of Chewie, they obviously need to know their friendship. Jabba the Hutt, you've got to. He obviously deals with him, doesn't he? So to me, and
I think the winning of the
Millennium Falcon and Lando, and that is what you want. So the other things, as long as they're integral to the story, I think I
also wonder whether or not they'll do...
I don't know why they need Grand Moff Tarkin there.
Well, but the Empire is something that's going to be around. Of course,
but it isn't, like we've always said, Star Wars isn't an insular universe. It's huge. No.
And it's also going to be interesting to see where this movie fits in regards to, say, like Rogue One. Because this could be a younger Tarkin. But then, like you say, then it squashes the universe if all of a sudden... I mean, apparently they say there's rumours that Vader is going to be making a really short cameo.
I mean, a cameo like that could be quite funny. It could be. I mean, if you go back to like Indiana Jones and the Hitler...
Exactly.
That's a very funny cameo. If they were to do that, that could be funny.
Yeah.
And just like, oh, hang on.
Talking of the Indiana Jones, I was just wondering whether they would do like they did in The Last Crusade and explain why Han Solo has got a scar on his chin,
right?
Like they did with
the flashback,
River Phoenix, And the fact, but then that would maybe be too much like the Indiana Jones.
It would be a little bit.
I mean, because that'd be a real sort of origin of everything. But
I think they could cover it, but without like doing it in that sort of like in an action scene or anything.
Yeah.
They could have it where Chewie's young or just lashes out and smacks him in the mouth.
So very quickly to end, regarding Han Solo, what do you think will happen if it isn't a hit? Or what would you class as not a hit?
Well,
in regards to box office takings, because every movie so far, like we said, has taken at least $1 billion.
I think this has got a clear 600. You think about the extensive, how much they were budgeted anyway to film the original is well over 100. 150 probably. They probably spent about 100 of that already. The reshoots it's probably going to be a 200 mil movie by the end of this. And then you've also got all the promo that's got to come out of it, and all the linkage to everything like that. So I think if it takes under 600 mil, then I think they're.
And do you think it will?
I think it's going to be. I think it will take a 7. I don't know. It may top it near $1 million. $1 billion, sorry, $1 million.
The way I look at it is like Justice League, and I've said it a million times, I thought was just a mess of a movie, and that's taken. I think that's nearly 800 million. I think. And I'm just wondering, with it being Star Wars, will it automatically take that? Because people will. Because, like I say, Last Jedi hasn't had 100% thumbs up from everybody, and it's still taken $1 billion and rising. It's just going to be interesting, and I've said it before. It'll hinge on that first trailer,
which is imminent.
It's imminent.
They have said now the trailer is definitely imminent.
By the time that we do next week's episode, it may
have all dropped.
Have dropped. So I hope so, because we need to see something from it.
I think Ron Howard's well aware of it.
Yeah,
he's well aware of it.
There you go.
Well, that was short and sweet.
Not really.
Not really, is it?
No.
But it felt it. Didn't time fly when you're having fun, eh? Doesn't time fly when you're having
dirty
fun?
Dirty boy. So that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're watching this, do remember to leave a comment below. Tell us what you think on it, any of the Solo stories, the Last Jedi stories. Please do comment away. When you do leave that comment, remember to press the like button.
Indeed. And also come and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Leave us a nice rating and a review. That would be wonderful. And also come and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the little bell icon. Means you'll be notified every time we release another video. So that's it for episode 59.
Oh, we got an anniversary one next week.
Why?
60.
Oh.
60 episodes.
60 episodes.
Been doing it more than a year now.
Have we?
Of course we have.
I
Otherwise,
suppose. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So happy New Year, everybody.
And
we will see you all again next week, bright and early. Wednesday is Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
And may the Force be with you all.
Bye.